Welcome. We're back. All right. So this week's literary selection was sent in by the lovely and amazing wielder of the rainbow ray herself, Lynn Juno. So thanks, Lynn. Well, I dreamed I saw the knight in armor coming, saying something about a king. There were peasants singing and drummers drumming, and the archer split the tree. There was a fanfare blowing to the sun that was floating on the breeze. Look at Mother Nature on the run in the 21st century. Look at Mother Nature on the run in the 21st century. I was lying in a burned out basement with the full moon in my eyes. I was hoping for replacement when the sun burst through the sky. There was a band playing in my head and I felt like I could cry. I was thinking about what a friend had said and I was hoping it was a lie. Thinking about what a friend had said and I was hoping it was a lie. Well, I dreamed I saw the silver spaceships flying in the yellow haze of the sun. There was laughing, crying, and colors flying all around the chosen one, all in a dream, all in a dream. The loading had begun, flying Mother Nature's silver seed to a new home in the sun. They were flying Mother Nature's silver seed to a new home in the sun. That's after the gold rush. Thanks, Lynn. Natalie, welcome, welcome. Evie, always good to see you. Adam, nice to have you. Jennifer McCormick, always love to see your energy, my sweet. You have the prettiest aura. Yeah, there you go, Evie. Oh, Evie, say hi back to Carol. I miss her. Where's she been? All right. So as always, I want to start the show thanking my sponsor, Ernie Mosteller at Fried Okra Entertainment, keeping us afloat. Check out his stuff on Instagram, Ernie Mosteller. Thank you, my brother. You're always there for us, man. Oh, all right. Crazy energy, man. The energy's been really weird, and my personal energy, I'm in such a strange space. I'm always like moving, moving forward, moving forward, moving forward, and I find myself just kind of like, okay, just sitting down and like waiting. Really, really odd space for me, but I've noticed I've just noticed some really strange kind of energy thing. Haze is still around a little bit, and not quite as not quite as intense as it was the last few weeks for me, but it's still there. I'm still trying to figure that out. I did a ride down into it like micro, and it appears there's like little nano metal flakes in it. And I haven't figured that out at all, and that's kind of on the tide. That makes me feel yucky too, man. And I notice a lot of people around me are really drained, and don't have a lot of energy. So hopefully we're going to get that worked out here momentarily. Presh, always good to see you. I'm doing well in the world. And I've had some really crazy explorations getting prepared for the show too. I'm looking really forward to kind of talking about my own like personal feelings and explorations on the whole alien thing. Always a crazy weirdness. Tom, good to see you, man. Did you have a really good time? You had some friends or some fun, rather? And my mouth is not connected to my brain tonight, so bear with me. So, yeah, I found out that CERN together is a pretty crazy thing. But when you think about on the quantum level, what could be coming out of those particular like explosions and the ways to use those crazy magnets they've got, man. And they're working on another collider that's even bigger. But anyway, I wanted to throw this question out to you because I got kind of surprisingly a number of messages this week from people asking me if it seemed like time had slowed down. And they were just saying that it's been really strange since CERN shut off, that hyper time kind of feeling that we've been having, like, sort of left for them. And I can't really say that I noticed that myself. I'd love to hear what you guys, if you guys have done that too. And there's like crazy Mandela thing effect things happening. Like the Fruit Loop box is back to two big Fruit Loops for the O's instead of spelling it correctly. And the cornucopia is back on the Fruit of the Loom, and like all these all these weird things that for years have been used as like people remembering like the cornucopia, but no, they're showing you this version that doesn't have the cornucopia on it, and it hasn't been that way for years, supposedly. Just a lot of really weird twists in reality and the fabric of the of the simulation. Sometimes I think it needs some more power. By the way, speaking of power, um, you know, think what you want about like Elon Musk, but that guy is such a visionary, man. And the new really crazy out there thing that he's working on right now is, one of the biggest problems we're facing with all of the AI and the increasing like technological need for energy and storage space and the power to run these huge like um, complexes they're building. um, yeah, those data centers. I saw a video of an AI simulation of what could probably happen if AI like escaped and like took over the world, and the visual that they had of it was just this mass of data centers like covering the entire earth. Anyway, it got off the subject. Um, those data centers are all about supplying massive power. So Elon's sending out a layer of satellites that are going to catch sunlight and convert that sunlight to power, like unlimited power, and in the craziest way. I was reading some of the little promo things about that as it's getting developed, and it just warped my head, man. Like that's all of a sudden that's data centers would be obsolete, which to me, in my opinion, is a really great thing. The data centers, in addition to just kind of like they're huge, they just suck up the environment, and like I haven't been close to one, but like just even being at the little power transfer stations that you can walk by that are in different city blocks. Man, my energy goes, ooh, I totally feel that field around. um, just the little substation things. So I was thinking about that today, man. How would that actually feel in a very real way? Um, to be close to one of those, that would just be really insane. Um, Let me say hey. Hello, Kathleen. Good to see you. Yes, you're feeling it. You're feeling it. Presh, have you felt any time weirdness? Were you experiencing feeling like time was sped up and now it's not? Or have you noticed any difference whatsoever? Let's see. Natalie says the days seem slower, but time is still going fast. Wow, that's an interesting juxtaposition, but I kind of understand what you're saying. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Ah, Tom, glad you had a good time, man. All right. So let's get down to the subject of the day. And that's talking about extraterrestrials and actually a few more categories that people don't really take into account. A lot of my friends that are into the channeling thing, it winds up just kind of being one communication from one specific race of aliens. And I think sometimes that tunnel vision's a little bit. And, you know, I've like since I was a little boy, man, when I was like 5 or 6 years old, my bed was right up next to a window. I had to stand up in the window to look out. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, man, the stars were just like exploding. And I would look up there and I always felt like that was home. Like I belonged up there. And that's I kind of there's part of me that's always felt like a visitor here, man, my entire trip. Um, and then as I grew up and they started publishing some of those first magazines with the super grainy shots of UFOs and stuff, I was like, wow, it just took me somewhere. And I've always been an enormous science fiction, science, physics, and um, chemistry, and like, oh man, love it so much. And that always has been kind of a calling for me. So I've gone in and out of kind of believing like there was lots of alien influences around us. I went through a period of time where I didn't think there was anything except just us. And wow, what an empty time that was. So anyway, what I'm going to share with you tonight, um, my own opinions. I don't put this forth as truth. I put this forth as food for thought and hopefully some inspiration for your own exploration and see what you get. Um, I decided that, well, first of all, when I just do a general reach out and you're not looking for any specific particular frequency or anything, it's noisy out there for me, man. It's super loud. It's just like, wow. And there's, you know, flows of consciousness um, all around, and many of them is what I perceive. So I decided to kind of get focused and do my own reach out, and just kind of see if some of those, the grays, the reptilians, the Arcturians, the big five or six that people talk about all the time. Um, I was just going to see if I could do a reach out and actually contact that and feel that flow because they're all going to be on different frequencies. Um, I did not in any way, shape, or form want to make contact. However, um, I don't really want to. I don't really feel that need. um, so I wanted to kind of go incognito. And since we had the shadow show last week, which was just a blast, man, I enjoy Jennifer's energy and where we go off of each other so much. Really, it was a super fun show. And all week long, I've been being buddies with my shadow and making friends instead of just being yelling and controlling all the time. It really, that little research into the show wound up kind of sending me on a whole new blast of looking at my relationship with my shadow, and I, I'm digging it. I think it's a much better place and a unified place rather than somebody in control and the slave. Uh, doesn't work so good. Oh, thank you very much, Jennifer. That's very kind. Jennifer said two magic shows. Yeah, we had the show afterwards, Jennifer's Love Show. I was a guest on there, and that was a crazy show too. It was like, wow, did I really do that? Oh, so fun. Yeah. Oh, Vivian, aloha, girlfriend. How you doing? Are you back? Are you back on the island, or are you still traveling? Michael Zen, good to see you, my brother. So, so the people that have joined, since I asked this, um, we were talking about the Large Hadron Collider at CERN being shut down on the 29th of June. And I was mentioning that I'd gotten a bunch of messages that people feel like, people have been talking for the last couple of years. Wow, time's going by so fast. It feels like it's going by at warp speed and like this hyper time. And I got a message this past week that since a bunch of messages actually, that since they turned CERN off, that it feels like time has slowed down a little bit and like it's kind of back to normal. And some of the weird Mandela effects, like the Fruit Loops box and the Fruit of the Loom cornucopia, like is back, and the Fruit Loops are now two big serial O's instead of spelling fruit correctly, and a whole bunch of other examples. Anyway, wanted to throw that out to you and see if you guys have experienced anything in the last few weeks that's time related or Mandela effect related, or if you've noticed any change in kind of the spirit at all. I know there's a lot of astrological and solar, man. We just got zapped again with another huge coronal mass ejection. Our poor magnetosphere, please stay good. It has just taken so much abuse in the last year. Anyway, I'd love if anybody's noticed any strangeness in the flow of things, please share with me. All right, so when I go to look for something, okay, when you're on the astral, you're definitely not in your physical body, but you're in your light body, and beings there, entities there, can perceive that. And most of the time, that's not a big deal. And when I go looking for something that doesn't really matter, that I'm just curious about, or I'd like to find something, I write it out there in my light body and go do my little search around. But when I want to do something that's kind of incognito and I don't really want to have any attention, I send my shadow. Man, he is the best. And all I have to do is give him I do this before I go to sleep. And I like lay out the facts, what I know about it, and what I'm trying to find. And in this particular thing, I was asking him to go and find. I started with the big five or six, the Greys, the Reptilians, the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, and I would send them out every night and just go to look for that flow. And then the next night, I would like do a nice meditation, and there would be the frequency, and boom, I could go kind of eavesdrop on what kind of weird, what's the feeling, what's the energy of the communications between. And when I say big five or six, I'm really talking about races that purportedly are the most involved in the human civilization. So, I started with the Greys, and whew, I don't dig them, man. Some of them are, like some of it felt a little malevolent. Most of it just felt like ice cold, like emotionless, just like sterile, like really, really dead inside. And all it is facts and figuring things out and accomplishing directives, but there's no feeling or enjoyment or anything like that. And they do really communicate as much as I could feel. Like it's telepathic, like for the majority of it. It's like all like up here in the sphere. Um, I've read stuff about ETs over the years, and that was not exactly unexpected, but to actually kind of viscerally sample it myself, it was like, wow, I'm glad I showed up in incognito. Hey, welcome, Mary Combs. Very happy to have you. Um, then and I organized them. Well, I'll talk a little bit more about this in a minute. But at the end of all of it, my just kind of reach out and my own little, wow, what about that? What about that? Like I found so many, and some I didn't recognize. Like I didn't have names for, but it was a really distinct communication. Like some of them are not really involved; they're just observing and calculating, and um, it was really intense. So I wound up wanting to get really organized and do a listing, a kind of my own comprehensive list of energetic beings of all kinds. And just the ETs alone, like I stopped at like 42, 44. um, it's pretty cool though at the end of it to go back and look down that and go, wow, man, just so many influences, and it kind of gives you the broader scope of like, as there are so many countries on the face of the earth, there's like all these different like civilizations and races, and whew, a little overwhelming. I think sometimes. We get focused on one particular, like the Arcturians are going to come and save everything, and thank God for the Arcturians, because they are very much in our favor and want us to evolve, um, because like the Draconians, the reptilians, like those guys, whew, they're about their own thing and control, and controlling people and governments, and like they have this very militaristic kind of outlook for it, and they're definitely not friends. They're all about like, how can we use whatever we're in the middle of consuming. um Here, let me bring up that little list. I very much enjoyed reaching out to the Arcturian frequency though, and man, they're pretty bright when they're just by themselves. So here's my little list of the top 10, or the top 8. Here we go. The top 8 um, that are supposed supposed to be the most involved with the Earth, and that's the Greys. They're the ones that do all of the abductions that you hear about, and I just saw another crazy video on this guy. It's a great guy if you're into the UFO thing, named James, and it's JAMEZ.com. Or on YouTube rather, just James. And man, he had some amazing footage. Like if that's, I guess that could be AI, but man, it was so real. Like this gray, like blinking and having facial expressions. I mean, they can do crazy stuff with AI now. You can't really discount that. But it kind of like, wow, there it is. Yeah, the Lyrans. That's an interesting race, Jennifer. Jennifer McCormick says, I resonate with Lyra. Yeah, let me make sure I'm not missing any here. Let's see, Michael's in. You feel like what? Into an old time TV show. Well, there you go. Yeah. All realities are stacked in one spot right in the center of the yin yang symbol. All right. So the Greys, the Reptilians, the Draconians, the Nordics, interesting vibe to those guys. These guys were creepy, the mantis beings, man. And they've kind of been busted out in some of the congressional stuff, and some of the people in the government starting to really leak stuff that I really want to believe all of that. But man, there's so much misinformation, and like people that were part of the MUFON group and stuff that were there specifically to send out misinformation that would then dilute and screw up the real stuff. So that's kind of why I did my own reach. Like I talk about this all the time. If you really want to know, go find out yourself. And the best way to do it is to go sample that energy with your own energy. There's a lot of truth that comes through to that sort of supersedes all the intellectual wazoo about it. And just, man, there are so many opinions, when I was doing my research to put together. By the way, I'm going to put together a PDF of this, so that I would be more than happy to share with you and get some input on, and maybe we'll make something out of it. But it's a pretty cool document. I think you'll dig it. All right, so the mantis beings, and then we get into the human alien hybrids, and man, I didn't realize how many of those there actually are, like running around, and more of those all the time. Yeah, and then the Pleiadians, and then of course, bringing up in number 8 the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki were really one of the first kind of deep dives I did into alien extraterrestrial civilizations. All right. Let's see here. Oh, there's just too many of these to go through. Okay, so I just on my own reach out, like I mean, there was 20, 30 different ones. And then outside of that, there felt like there was this huge, like there's so many planets, there's so many life forms, and like space travel was about to get really revolutionized, because shortly they're going to discover that to travel across the universe, all you need to do is have the right frequency of the place you want to go, and to be able to lock on to that and like instantaneous, which explains a lot of the crazy. I know there are um, a lot of portals and those sort of things, but there's also this just vanish. And it's always felt to me like those just went away. And I've kind of been toying with this concept since I started working with quantum entanglement and the whole superposition and measuring particles. Two particles act in opposite, and one of they can be right there next to each other, or one can be here, and one's on the other side of the universe. And even at the split second, at the like, there is no time difference. Like it happens to both those particles at one time, which just seemed like, wow, that's a really cool way in. Maybe there's space travel happening through that. But the whole like idea that you can find the frequency and just go there. Now all of a sudden that makes sense, and it makes sense that there are so many different civilizations that are able to come and hang out and look, and it feels like there's just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and different kind of, like I've heard people talk about galactic council. Let me see, I made a little list of those too. I was a real list fiend here the last couple of days. Oh yeah, okay. Here, these are organizations that are collections of races. The Galactic Federation, some people call it the Galactic Federation of Light. The Ashtar Command, which I know very, very little about. The Andromedean Council, the Orion Group, the Drace Empire. Yeah, and those are kind of weird, like militaristic, sort of like not so nice. The Council of Nine, the Federation of Planets, like it feels like there's just these huge chunks of and collections of races, just like there are countries on the world. So it's been a super crazy exploration. Oh yeah, and I should share with you. I have been seeing for the first time in my life, like all those nights I stared outside my window. I wanted to see a spaceship so bad. I can't even tell you. I never saw one. My whole life, I've seen a lot of amazing stuff, a lot of creatures and spirits and like all kinds of stuff you wouldn't believe. Not one UFO. So about 6 months ago, I'm sitting out getting ready for a show, and I see this weird thing that looks like a comet coming at us, and there is a bright little spot in the center, and the halo out from it, and I'm like, wow, what in the world is that? I've never seen anything like that. And I'm like, did I miss a comet that's coming? Because it looked exactly like that. And then it sped up really hard. And it's kind of like over here. And it came in and did this. And now all of a sudden it's going across and it's going really slow. And then it went whoop, gone. I'm like, what in the world did I just see? So about a week later, sitting in the same place, getting ready for the show, and I see this. It's always from right to left, and I see this little ball of light happening, and off the front of the ball are a bunch of little spheres, right? And they're dancing and spiraling as this whole like mass of them are going around, and it like sped up and went boop, gone. Like, what? And I'm like going down the list of stuff. Is it a meteor? Is it a comet? Is it actually a comet? Could it be an airplane? No, none of that. None of that stuff actually worked. Let me see. Let's get to some questions here. Stephen Greer. Yeah. Stephen Greer, I think he's a really brilliant guy. And he's one of the UFO, uh, I don't know, whistleblower is the right name for him, but he's one of the people that knows a lot, has had experience, and has, worked in a lot of government institutions and has seen some crazy stuff himself. And he's one of the guys that kind of took a hit with. I can't remember this guy's name, but he was kind of a mole. He was a big deal in the whole UFO community, and his whole gig was he was a CIA operative that was there to plant distracting misinformation stories. And Stephen Greer got kind of caught up in that and took a little grief for that. But I think he's a very brilliant guy. I don't know that any single one person has the whole story. You listen to some of Bob Lazar's stuff, man, he has some crazy, 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 crazy stories. And, the more you hear, the more you believe. And you watch the way they're dribbling out information and getting everybody desensitized. It's like, it's coming. Like, okay, just get on with it already, because this slow mold is just, but they always love to milk it. It's like down here with the hurricanes. The whole week before the hurricane comes, every news station is doing special reports. The hurricane that's going to blow at record speed. And everything's just about the catastrophe and the drama and the whole craziness on it. And I think people are so desensitized to it right now. Like, who's going to be surprised? What? You've been working this now for decades, and the whole the release thing. Come on, man. The Steven Spielberg release, the disclosure on the day that they blast out. Okay, we're finally releasing it, which was mainly a bunch of crap anyway. It was not even. It was a bunch of stuff that had already been released. They just tried to make a big show of it. Jennifer Rose. Oh man, I had so much fun last week. I was talking about that a little earlier. I was just a super blast. Jennifer, you have any ET experience yourself? Here, let's see. Let's get rid of this. I agree. I think this is Michael Zen. I agree. I think there are bits of it all over the place, and it's probably all true, and none of it's true at the very same moment. It's all freaking illusion anyway. I think disclosure will come from within, not from any sort of government announcement. No, they'll find a way to spin it. I mean, they've got to. That's what they do. Let's spin it. How can we use this to control? Let's make some more money. Oh my God, man. It's just it's all so calculated by people that think they're smarter than everyone else. Yeah. All right. So Lorraine says, I've seen 3 UFOs when I was younger near the sun in the late afternoon. They were like bright lights. Yeah, Lorraine, go on the listen back and listen to the poem I read this morning that Lynn Juno sent in, and you'll laugh when you read that. Yeah, just go scope it out. Very top of the show. It's first thing that comes on. It's weird when you see it. It's like you believe it, but you don't believe it. My inner skeptic is always like, there's an explanation for that. I don't know if anybody's watched that show, The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, but they do some insane experiments and have identified wormholes. There's UFOs that happen and come and scope out the stuff they're doing. Skinwalker Ranch has a big history, a big government history, and CIA history. This guy named Bigelow bought that ranch, and he was He was an intelligence person, and he had to leave. It was too crazy. There was really weird stuff that happened there. All right, I have been just talking. So it's about that time. Let's do a really nice ride down to blank space, and we'll do some readings. All right. All right. Let's make some sacred space. With the radiant light of the source, I banish and clean this space and make this place pure. With the brilliant radiant light of the source, I banish and clean this space and make this place pure. With the radiant light of the source, the true light, banish and clean this space and make this place pure. We joyously come together to create our sacred space, a place of safety, sanctuary, and light. We ask that our angels, our guides, and allies join us this evening and share their knowledge, their wisdom, the love of the source. We ask that we have eyes to see, ears to hear, and the wisdom to understand. And with absolute gratitude for all of it, the good, the bad, and especially the ugly. Infinite, unconditional love. And our wish for bliss to the source. We open our circle. Welcome, you guys. Oh, yeah, thanks for showing up. All right, let's take a quick ride down to blank space. All right. For anybody that's new, we're going to take a really deep breath. I want you to use your solar plexus, focus on your solar plexus to draw. Take it in through your nose, and it's bright, golden, healing source energy. And as it's flowing in through your nose, it's infusing your whole body. Just let it flow down, radiate down your whole body, out into your light body, brighten your aura up, bright like the sun. And then on the release, we're just going to slowly release the breath, releasing thoughts, focusing on going down to turning the mind off. Just follow my voice. When we get to the word silence, just freeze frame. Hold your breath, hold your thoughts, just stay frozen right there. All right, we're going to do 2 of those at about 8-10 seconds on that little hold. The last one we're going to do, we'll hold for 30 seconds. And, if you have trouble holding your breath during that time, just take a little sniff of a breath just to get you by. And make sure that your mind stays in that off place. And if you find yourself starting to wander, starting to think about other stuff, just keep bringing it back off. Sometimes I use the word stop. I prefer the word off. Like start to wander. Just just like your whole machine just shuts off. Okay. And then we'll hang in that for about 30 seconds. All right, here we go. Inhale. Use your solar plexus in through the nose. Really stretch. Pack it in as much as you can. A little more. And release the noise, the chaos, the static of the world fading into the distance. No thoughts, no mind, deeper silence. And inhale, make it count, really stretch. Bright, golden healing, send it to anywhere you need help. And release, sinking deeper, deeper into the bliss of the stillness. No future, no past, deeper silence. All right, last one. We're going to hold this one for 30. Inhale. Really stretch. Bring in that energy. And release. Turning off the machine. Winding down. Silence. $15. And 30. Great job. All right. Take a nice deep breath. We'll do 3 of those. Slowly come back. Focused and refreshed. One more. All right, awesome. All right, let that energy just kind of infuse and flow. I'm going to shuffle, get a good shuffle. Anybody looking for a reading this evening, I would be more than happy to accommodate you. Let's see. Gypsy Ann, welcome to the show. All right, Natalie, you're up. Focus really hard. Bring it in. Words of wisdom from my good friend Natalie. Words of wisdom from my good friend Natalie. Words of wisdom from my good friend Natalie. Bum, 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 bum. Number 26, the angel of ambition. Two of wands. It's a tarot card with that. There's a couple people looking out for you, wanting to help you along. And they're working in secret. Yeah. There could be disagreements among the players on the team. You could be feeling frustrated and stifled by the constant clashing of ideas. Deal with your frustrations. Come back to center. These feelings of being restricted, contained, or held back. When you are confronted by differing ideas with no flexibility, it creates confusion. The project loses focus and never gets completed. You need a unified team that balances to be achieved. Look deeply at your own conflicting beliefs first. Always, man, that mirror, always the first place to start. Make adjustments and seek a unified solution. Make it into the win win, not the win lose. Nobody has to lose for everybody to win. Look for the win win. Find an idea that encompasses all points of view. Be creative, man. Bust out that creative like vein you have and just milk it. You will feel the sense of harmony, which will create exciting new possibilities. Allow yourself to revel in the generosity and attention you receive from others. Yeah, there's a couple people trying to help you, man, in a really big way, in a really cool way, actually. Awaken to your self awareness and release your confined spirit. Awaken to your self awareness and release your confined spirit. All right. All right, Jennifer McCormick. Do a really nice deep breaths, get nice and centered, and brighten up that pretty aura. Words of wisdom from my friend Jennifer McCormick. Words of wisdom from my friend Jennifer McCormick. Words of wisdom from my friend Jennifer McCormick. Number 48, the angel of fertility. I love the visual for this card. You could be experiencing worry, anxiety, and fear, feeling a little timid and perhaps a little defensive. Allow yourself to feel it. I strongly suggest to you that any kind of weirdness like that you're feeling is highly influenced by the energy around us right now. So just take a deep breath. Yeah. Look at your deepest desires and recognize which has heart and passion and enough meaning and power to sustain you. Now, focus all your energy on it. Think of your mind like a magnifying glass. You know, that's the best analogy in the world. When you get the sun coming out of there and that beam and poof, yeah, I use that all the time. One of my favorite metaphors. Now focus all your energy on it. Think of your mind like a magnifying glass. Bring the scattered light of all your different ideas down to a single concentrated point that catches fire and breaks through. You can ignite all the rest of them once you have that like initial flame. Experience your determination to create something from your dreams and do something with them. Don't just think about it, like do something. Pick out a small thing to start and just start doing one of those every day. A surprise event is coming. Happy, happy. It will be auspicious and improve your attitude. A definite change for the better. You're on the right track. Just don't waste any time. Success is for the patient. Look for the signs of success and follow it through. Never, ever give up. So tempting sometimes. You know, I told you I was sitting in I'm in kind of like just, all right, I don't know how to move forward right now in a really good way. So I'm just going to sit and wait. Not my best mode, but that's definitely dictated for the moment. But you are like, you're ready to like really explode into some new areas that'll make you really happy and fulfilled and sustain your joy in a really wonderful way. Even when the going gets tough, never give up, even when the going gets tough. Offer your insecurity up in prayer, and it will be replaced with spiritual strength. You know, even after all the like decades of working with the angels, like their whole gig is they want to help you, but unless I ask, they mind their own business, watch, and let me do my own gig, man, total free will. And I think sometimes, uh, with spiritual people, we get kind of caught up in our own universe of it and think it's just us, And I don't think to ask for help sometimes. And all of a sudden, oh, hey, 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 help me. And, I would just suggest that to you. Your light's really bright, so you rely on that a lot. But there is help out there to be had in a really crazy way. You're welcome, Jennifer. Yeah, let's see who else we have here. All right, Presh. Get focused, bring it down to a point. I don't know. It kind of feels a little bit like you have something really specific. So if there's a really specific question, just beam that really hard to the exclusion of everything else. Actually, you don't have to beam it. You can just focus on it. I'll reach out. Words of wisdom from my friend Crush. Words of wisdom from my friend Crush. Words of wisdom from my friend Crush. Number 39, the angel of filial submission. Anything with submission and it never starts good for me. Focus and release this conscious state of sadness Let your emotions flow freely so they do not block you. Sorrow is the cleansing and purifying process of grief. Allow your feelings to wash over you and release any anguish that has built up over the loss. Even in the most loving relationships, there are times of conflict, pain, and separation. Solve your problems by expressing your feelings in a creative way. Bring new methods to your old patterns, man. That is so what the astrology of the moment is about as well. I feel like I'm being deconstructed even as we speak. Yeah, so like all the like I'm having to write new programs like every day now. Solve your problems by expressing your feelings in a creative way. Bring new methods to your old problems. Release the stifling energy so that you can heal. Refuse to harbor any negative thoughts, man. Don't chew on it. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Focus on your feelings, experience them, and then release them completely. This will allow a new creative breakthrough to enter and take its place. There is only one response to true sorrow. Do not try to hide from it. Embrace it with your heart, accept it, and then move through it. The seeds of new ideas germinate and await their birth. Be creative and let your ideas out. Love what you have to give the world, and you have so much. Give your spirit freedom and discover an endless source of new life through your creativity. Press, if you've never done a meditation and taken your energy up to merge with the source, the most glorious experience I've ever had. No lie. All right. Jacqueline, this one is for you. Jacqueline. I told you my mouth's not connected to my brain. All right, Jacqueline, um, take three really nice deep breaths and bring your attention down to a point. Just get really centered. If there's something specific, beam that. If not, just be open and focused. Words of wisdom from my friend Jacqueline. Words of wisdom from my friend Jacqueline. Words of wisdom from my friend Jacqueline. Ah, the angel of reconciliation, number 35. I like that visual too. I like them. Every week I'm like, oh, yeah. All right. I always enjoy sharing this card more than I can even begin to tell you. And honestly, this is one of the cards. Like the thing that trips me out about the angel cards is like, especially when you have something really specific in your mind, like if you were thinking about your job, like some other stuff, they give you the first line of the reading, like, okay, we can quit. For instance, you were offered the gift of wealth, abundance, and prosperity through your communication and organizational skills. You were beginning to feel secure, but you still feel slightly detached. Your life will seem to just turn around, and security will soon crown your efforts as your finances begin to prosper. You will soon be free from monetary concern. Congratulations. Whew. There will be a gain in finances or position, possibly an inheritance. You will know attainment, recognition, and a great feeling of security. Use the wealth of these resources to build lasting structures in the world. Make this a better place to live by leaving something solid and tangible behind you. The gate has opened to the hidden experiences and ordinary things. The gift of magic is the richest gift of all. So that you may recognize and appreciate the magic all around you. The angel has come, disguised as a beggar or a traveler, to test your virtues of hospitality and generosity, then leave a magical gift. By acting in a certain way, you create within yourself the ability to recognize and receive the blessings the world has to offer you. The everyday world contains a magic greater than any of us can see. Some of us can. The magic is all around us. It's in nature and the very fact that we're breathing and exist. Know that you are manifesting your visions and graciously accept the rewards. Now you see why I like to read that card. Yeah. All right. Lorraine, you're up next. All right, Lorraine, you know the drill by now. Focus really hard, Lorraine. Words of wisdom from my friend Lorraine. Words of wisdom from my friend Lorraine. Words of wisdom from my friend Lorraine. Number 60, the angel of intellectual reparation. You let your emotions fly the second you feel them, and without a moment to contemplate the consequences. Emotional excess. Now the energy has been released and your cards have been played. Begin to organize. Man, patience, 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 patience. And just a moment before you speak. Okay, I passed it on. Begin to organize your life and gain some stability. Find yourself a routine that you can follow. Balance your emotions with your mind and spirit. Allow yourself to experience generosity and freedom as you begin to give your life some structure. Honor your inner and outer limits now. Using the material as an illusion for security is a false methodology, one we all fall into at some time. Once you have become balanced and stable within yourself, having found the security within, and your connection to the source is that security. You will no longer need to hold on to anything in the material world. You will recognize that when you are confronted with loss or obstacles, you need only establish new plans and have them ready and let the light shine. The tarot card that goes with that is the Four of Pentacles, and that's about like uh, really getting a solid foundation and a structure of like deciding what your passion is, what you'd like to do, and um, creating a structure that will help move you in that direction. Will start moving a lot of energy that has nothing to do with that in your favor as well too. So I'd really encourage you to think about getting kind of especially right now with where Saturn is out, like the great master of taskmaster. He likes that structure. You know, there's help there for you if you comply. Yeah. All right. Enjoyed reading for you. All right, Gypsy Ann, welcome to the reading section. All right, take 3 really nice deep breaths. Get focused. Get really focused. Words of wisdom from my friend Gypsy Ann. Words of wisdom from my friend Gypsy Ann. Words of wisdom from my friend Gypsy Ann. Oh, that one jumped out. Number 25, the angel of spiritual wisdom and magic. Hang on, almost there. The relentless grind of continuous competition is wearing you down a little bit. You find your concepts being continually tested through conflicts and disagreements. Your existence seems more like war sometimes. Also, always question authority. Be resolute and factual to clarify the situation and get the assistance you require. Always question authority, but have your ducks in a row before you do, or else it will go nowhere. The whole point of questioning that is to actually accomplish something. So the more your ducks are in a row, the more facts you have, the more, here's it laid out. No room for argument or opinion or emotional like write-off. Okay. Oppression is an opportunity for liberation. Face and overcome the trials and taste victory. All of our obstacles are lessons, valuable lessons, as much as they might suck at the moment and cause pain and worry and all those things. In the end, they are absolutely our opportunity to learn and evolve and grow. You realize that negativity traps and imprisons your soul. Yes, because that's what you send out and that's what returns to you. Lively discussions are invigorating, giving you the opportunity to contribute your ideas. You enjoy teaching others what you know. However, you must be willing to look past just your own point of view. The battle will never be over. The battle will never be over as long as there's duality. There's a battle. However, you must be willing to look past just your own point of view. The battle will never be over. Find a place where you enjoy being a warrior. Live in the radiance of your own light. You are, in fact, a spark of the source. A spark, an actual piece of the source. Live in the radiance of your own light that burns eternal. Free yourself from your self made limitations by seeing yourself accurately. I have like the strongest impression that you either can or are on the cusp of being able to see auras and see energy. And if that's something you've been thinking about, man, go after it because that ability is like right there. All right, I enjoyed reading for you. All right, let's see. Coming down. All right. This one is for Andrea, and I may have time. Let's see. All right, I'll try to go. All right, this one is for Andrea Rees. Focus. Words of wisdom for my friend Andrea. Words of wisdom for my friend Andrea. Words of wisdom for my friend Andrea. Get focused. Interesting card. Number 46, the angel of perceiver and revealer. Can you accept an apology? Can you truly forgive and let go of the pain? Love with the trust and receptivity of a child, and out of this pleasurable experience, you will be regenerated and renewed. You will emanate that pleasure, and the feeling you will be extended to everyone around you. Delays are only a test of your strength and will. Be proactive, not reactive. Just be quiet. Ride down the blank space as often as you can. Still and center yourself within. When highly anticipated plans have gone awry, see it as an opportunity that it will be better next time. Accept the changes. Um, you have been in a funk for too long. Refocus and move towards action. The future is shining brightly. You are living through the breakdowns of a relationship which is based on one person protecting or teaching the other. Let go, experience your grief, and let go and experience your grief to heal. Cry, and your light will shine again. Liberate your emotions, and you liberate your soul. Ah, sorry if you're going through some pain. Been an intense time. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's see here. All right, I've got time for two more. Let's see, we'll do Nicole and then I'll get Allie. Allie, good to see you. All right, Nicole, this one's for you. Nicole Bailey. Still with us, I hope. Hmm. All right, get nice and focused. Words of wisdom from my friend Nicole. Words of wisdom from my friend Nicole. Words of wisdom from my friend Nicole. Ah, number 30, number 66, the angel of the knowledge of good and evil. This is an interesting card to spend some time with. Here we go. The advice and help you need is being offered right now. Listen carefully. It can come from the most unexpected places. Your situation isn't half as bad as you think it is. Man, that circle thinking on that stuff can be brutal. Pay attention to good advice and act on it. Stop sabotaging yourself. No more of this yes, but attitude. You know exactly what you want. Why are you trying to convince yourself that you cannot have it? Stop. Move through this negative thinking. Always remember the frequency you're putting out is the frequency you get back. Seek good advice on what to do about your issues. As valuable as specific instruction is, just as important is your readiness to listen and seek help. Through the act of finding help, a reader, a therapist, or even a friend, you open yourself to possibilities. See, set free your imagination and tease your curiosity. Yeah. All right, Nicole, thanks for being with us. Enjoyed reading for you. All right, this is the last one here tonight. Let's see, make sure I'm not missing anybody else. All right, Allie, this one's for you. Take a nice deep breath and bring it down. You know where to go. Words of wisdom from my good friend Allie. Words of wisdom from my good friend Allie. Words of wisdom from a good friend Allie. Number 19, the angel of expansive intelligence. Oh, do. You are about to be gifted love that is nurturing, creative, clearly focused, inspirational, and equally fulfilling. A beginning to a new relationship in which you will experience communication, balance, and deep love. Together, you will reach your goals. A seed has blossomed into a tree of appreciation. Two souls equally cherished. Good, solid ideas are passing between two people. Respect will blend your hearts together, the feeling of being simultaneously very special to one another. Expect a surprise. Two whole, complete souls, when united, create a third construct larger than either of them separately. A love affair which will unite your separate qualities and abilities through love to produce something in your lives beyond what either of you could have achieved alone. You will find success once you have connected your spiritual and material world into one. The tarot card for this is the Two of Cups, and the Two of Cups is that moment like the Ace of Cups represents like after you've been kind of closed off for a while, not really open to like being in love or anything. And the Two of Cups or the Ace of Cups represents like that moment where you go, I think I could kind of like go for that. And then the Two of Cups is that moment where you like see that spark somewhere. And I mean, that could be like a relationship, a people relationship. That can be your relationship with your source. That can be your relationship with yourself. But that spark of like understanding, that rush of that new love, like keep an eye out. It's around for you. I enjoyed reading for you. All right, I'm afraid that, like, man, I've gone way over. Thank goodness Jennifer's not doing her show tonight, or else she'd be whipping me really hard, which might be kind of fun. I can't believe I just said that. I can't believe it. All right. So, by the way, I use this deck every week, and this is actually a deck of my own construction for some of you out there that are new. And if you're interested in getting one for yourself, you can you can get it through wizardorbod.com, which is down at the bottom. And if you message me before you order it, and let me know you heard about through the show, I'll give you a humongous discount. All right. I'd really love to get some of these in your guys' hands. I think you would love them a lot. Yes, indeed. Okay. I guess we've come to the end of the extravaganza. Um, as far as time slowing down, this one went by I don't see any. I'm afraid I have to call. I don't think so on the whole CERN thing. So anyway, as always, please hit the like and subscribe and leave a comment down below, a hashtag live, and help us get the algorithm to maybe notice and pay attention a little bit. And yeah. All right. I know I'm forgetting to say something I really wanted to say, but I can't remember what it was. So I'm just going to send a blessing out, my heartfelt thanks and appreciation for you guys coming and sharing energy and that the creative, the space we make, that connection where we actually make an energetic circle that we can go in and out of. I'm just so digging where that is going in a really huge way. All right. So much love. Thank you guys for being here. And hope to see you next week. Oh, by the way, next week is going to be, I'm going to talk about the Fool's Journey and how to use the first 22 cards of the tarot deck for your own personal magical initiation. It's pretty cool, and it's one of the best ways I know to start learning cards. And I hope you'll join me. All right. So with joy and gratitude, we bring our gathering to a close and send everyone on their happy way. We thank our angels, guides, and allies for being with us, sharing their knowledge, wisdom, and love of the source with absolute gratitude for all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly, infinite unconditional love, and our wish for bliss to the source. Till next week, we close our circle. Be in the light.